Superman is the most progressive, diverse, inclusive movie that has ever been made. I'm just kidding. It's actually pretty good. This is my review of Superman. Today is the day that Superman finally comes out. I feel like people have been watching it all week, and so reviews have been trickling in. And I'm like, it comes out July 11th, people. How are you seeing this on Monday? But hey, I'm not in that crowd where I get like special attendance privileges, so I gotta see it when it comes out, when it's available here. So that's what I did. And I feel like the reviews have been all over the place with this movie. I've been following this movie since basically the beginning. Since that first infamous photo of him putting on his boots was released, I've been excited for this movie. And it seems that moviegoers and critics alike are kind of on the fence as to whether or not they like it. Like either you like it or you didn't. And I find myself definitely in the camp of, I liked it. And I gotta say, this Superman is not a grand slam, like welcome to the new DCU, but it's good. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. It's really fun to watch, and it is at its core a comic book movie first. And guys, before we get too deep into the review, I'm Chase, and this is Cut to the Chase with me, Chase. Hit that subscribe button for more. Now, this is going to be a spoiler-free review, so feel free to watch the whole movie. I'm not going to give anything away. Now, I want to talk about what worked in the movie, because there's a lot of things that worked. And like I said, this is a true comic book movie. James Gunn definitely reaches into the DC catalog on Superman and brings out some things that you wouldn't expect. Now, if you are just watching the movie, you don't really know all that, then whatever, you're still going to enjoy it. And it was really cool to see that brought forth. He does that a lot with his movies. James Gunn definitely goes in and researches the comic book movies that he's doing. And it's always to good success. And so the overall tone of the movie is very fun and adventure focused. But as much as that's his strength, that is also his weakness, which I'm going to get into in just a little bit later. But to go over some of the actors, David Coronswet, he obviously plays Superman. He does a really fantastic job. For me, one of the big things that Superman should inspire is hope. So when you see him come on screen, you should be like, oh, thank goodness he's here. Or when you see him come onto the comic page, thank goodness. And he's really able to embody that, so I appreciate it. One of the things that writers always complain about when they write Superman in the comic books is that he's so hard to write for, because like what would he be scared of? He's Superman, but he is tested in many ways. And so I appreciate that, because he doesn't have this invincibility that I'm not worried at all because it's Superman. Like, we see some weaknesses get exploited, which I think is really great. And then you have the villain, Lex Luthor with Nicholas Hoult. He does a great job as well. He uses this accent. I wouldn't say it's an accent, but he changes his voice up a little bit. And I think it actually works really well with the character. He's definitely a villain. Like, there is, and that's, oh my gosh, I love that. I love it. He's not a conflicted villain. He's not like, oh, you know, where you sympathize. No, you don't like Lex Luthor. Even if you're somebody who likes villains, you don't like Lex Luthor. Now, you might like him as he's playing it, but you don't like the character. But he does such a good job that I'm definitely interested in where his character goes if and when there's a sequel. And then we have a character that I was really excited to see come to the screen finally, with Mr. Terrific, and played by Eddie Gathegi. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I'm sorry if I didn't. He did a great job. There were moments, I think, that he actually kind of stole the scene because of just how he is. And Mr. Terrific's just a cool guy. So you can't help but like him. And they did justice. How he is in the comics is exactly what you got with this movie. So, and then we have Nathan Fillion playing Guy Gardner, Green Lantern. I don't really have much to say on that. It was fine. I like Nathan Fillion, but the character was just, I don't know. I laughed. Don't get me wrong. I laughed and I enjoyed the character, but it's just kind of like, I don't know. I think it was just not out of place, but I think they could have done away with some characters, to be honest, like tone it down, like maybe just have Mr. Terrific and Superman. Like that I think that really would have worked. But hey, it is what it is. And then I saved her for last because I wanted to talk about her last, because I thought Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane is the best. She's the most Lois Lane of any Lois Lane. She did a really, really great job. I really enjoyed her because she was written really well, and how she is she's still very feminine, but she's also very determined in that way. She got that journalistic instinct to get the story, to dig for information, and that kind of determination that bleeds into other aspects of her life. But she's also very kind and sympathizing with Superman. There's this, when there's a scene where they're arguing. It's been on YouTube. Like, it's a part of the trailer. But he says, like, there's things you can't use in that interview. Like, and she's like, I know. It was just kind of that acknowledgement of like, hey, we both know I'm not actually going to do anything about this. It's okay. And there's that trust that's there. I feel like in some other instances, it's not portrayed that way. She does a really great job. So much so, she's such a good journalist that I don't think she would work at the Daily Planet. I think she would be like a YouTuber or work at a smaller independent publishing place. But there she is. That's the kind of journalist we need there. Because when she is asking him questions, like, it's actually an interview. It's like, dang, man, we really need those kinds of journalists. But she did a great job. I really, really liked her character. She was probably outside of, she's one of my top characters that I really liked. Some of the things that didn't work in the movie for me was the tone. And I talked about this at the beginning, saying the tone was fun and adventure, and this is a comic book movie first. It's also by James Gunn. And James Gunn seems to have a really hard time with letting a moment have its moments. He seems to always want to cram something in that's either funny or awkward, and that really shows up in Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, you know what you're getting into, like I said, with a James Gunn movie. But there's a moment between Superman and Lois, which is not the one I was just talking about, but it's a different one, where it's kind of they're having a really not tense, but a really serious conversation. And there's something that's going on. I'm not going to get into all the details, where me personally, I was laughing. And I'm like, I don't feel like I'm supposed to be laughing in this situation because there's something serious happening, but I couldn't stop laughing. And I'm the only one in the theater that's laughing, so I'm trying to keep it silent. So, and the thing is what that was happening could easily just be taken out of the movie. It did not need to be there. There was nothing beforehand to show that was going to occur, and nothing that happened afterwards that paid off what happened in that scene. Yoink, take it out. Doesn't need to be there. Let that moment between Superman and Lois linger. Let the audience feel it. And then there's also another scene between Superman and Lex Luthor that is pretty tense, and it just gets derailed in the middle of it. And it's like, really? Did we really need that? Like, just let those moments happen. You don't have to always be cramming stuff in to make something funny. You can let a moment simmer, James. It's okay. And then also another gripe I have is the CGI dog. I don't mind the dog. I like the dog. I was really excited to see Crypto in a movie. It's awesome. But there's moments in the movie where I'm like, this can be a real dog right now. This doesn't have to be a CGI dog. And so I get it though. I mean, you gotta have a CGI dog at some point. He's flying around, he's jumping around, he's doing all sorts of crazy things, obviously. But there's moments where he can just be a real dog. There's trainers out there, people who train dogs like that. Now, I know there's been a lot of controversy surrounding this movie recently. I've even discussed some of it in my past videos, so you can go watch some of those. And one of the background plots that's happening in the movie that kind of sets the stage for kind of the bigger plot is there's a war brewing between two countries. And the two countries are definitely not Israel and definitely not Palestine. Look, I get it. I'm going to give a pass on this because using that plot point is not at all out of the norm at all. Like, yes, in current day, that's exactly what you would think, but go back, I don't know, 30 years, and you'd probably think of other countries. It's not like Israel and Palestine are the only groups that are feuding right now. There's tons of instances that you can point to right now where that's happening. So I wouldn't say it's hitting you over the head with that. In 20 years, if you watch the movie, you'd probably relate it to whatever is going on 20 years from now. But I'd also love to know what you guys think. Have you guys seen this movie? Are you planning on seeing it? Or are you just opting out from seeing this altogether? I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Please leave a comment. I read them all. I really do. I read them all. And while you're down there, hit that like button. And if you haven't yet already, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell for notifications. And if you guys want to support me directly, I have a link down in the description to, I think it's Ko-fi or Ko-fi. I don't know, but you can donate there to the show. All the proceeds that are generated there go directly here into this production to make it better, more engaging, maybe give Jose a raise. I don't know, maybe not. But anyways, guys, as always, peace out.